So last time around on the Rascal mini bike with the 98cc, the bike did around 42 miles an hour and 11 seconds from 0 to 30. I think it was a 10.85. So this time around, to try to make it faster and maybe a little quicker, I'm gonna add this 19mm slide carburetor and this header pipe. And we'll see if the bike will gain any top speed and quickness if it's not valve spring limited. But if it is, I might shim the valve springs. So I have this 19mm slide carb and the intake that's actually made for the 98cc 3-horse. So I'm gonna install this on there. And then I have this header pipe, which is really super nice. And look at the welds on that thing, the TIG welds. So even if it's not faster, it'll look nice. So that's the same carb and the same header pipe that I used on the micro bike build. If you haven't checked out those videos, go check them out, or check out the playlist. Let's pull this carb off of here. Pull off my throttle linkage. Might as well take this exhaust off first, get it out of my way, make things a lot easier. Yeah, this exhaust pipe looks pretty restrictive with that bend in it right there. So I'm betting that'll make a difference. I know it did on the micro bike, definitely made a difference. I almost got the micro bike to 50 miles an hour with one of these 3-horse engines. Just the weight of this thing alone should add 5 miles per hour. This thing is heavy. So I'm gonna run the pipe without the baffle or muffler first, just so it'll clear the frame. And then later on, I'll probably just get a center exhaust for it. But this is good enough to test it. That definitely cleaned it up. It's nice having all that stuff out of the way. Pull off this vent line. Yeah, I know on the micro bike, when I swapped the carb out, it made quite a bit of a difference. Pull my linkage off of here. Fuel line. Okay, easy enough. Pull those studs out of there. And I'll pull the insulator off because the slide carb has its own insulator that I port matched to the carb already. So I won't use this insulator on here. Get the rest of my linkage here. I think I'm gonna pull this vent line out and switch it around so the turn will point it down towards the ground. There we go. That's a lot better. So now I could butt 2 bolts together on these and pull these out, but it's easy enough just to do it with vice grips. The port on this carb is a little bit bigger, so I port matched the stock insulator. So it's a lot better fit. Throw this carb on here and hopefully it clears everything. I think the air filter hits the frame just a little bit, but other than that, looks like it fits pretty good. I think this flat air filter will fit on here a lot better. That way you have no hitting the frame issues. All right, so that looks like it fits on there pretty nice. Now I'll hook up my throttle, and I'll have to probably solder a tip on the cable. Probably cut the cable down to maybe a couple inches sticking out for the slide. Then I can adjust the rest. Solder a tip on here. Flux. I mean, you could use a MIG welder and just zap one on here real quick, but it's easy enough just to solder it on. If you get enough heat on it. Okay, that'll probably do it to it. So now, throw the spring on here. And then the slide. Then we can see if we have throttle. Hopefully. All right, there we go. Sounds like it. I might as well use the existing fuel line and just throw a fuel filter on here. So with that filter on there, at least I can see the fuel flow. That dark line. I think I'll pull this air filter back off here real quick and check to make sure it's getting full throttle. I think that's about it. Got the carb on there and the header pipe. So now I'll take it out and see if I can beat, what, 11 seconds 0 to 30 and around 42 miles an hour. If it's not valve spring limited. Well, it sounds pretty good. All right, let me see if I can get close to 11 seconds, 0 to 30. Okay, 0 to 30, slide carb header pipe on the 98cc. Okay, we did it in 1089, so pretty much exactly the same. I think we did a 1085 last time and an 1111. Let me do that again, back it up. Zero to 30, slide carb and a header pipe on the 98cc. Let's turn down that idle a little bit. Alright, let's see what we did. A 10.76, so it was just a little bit quicker, but not by much, maybe like a tenth. So now we have to go and beat 42.05 for top speed. And we'll see if the valve springs limit that. I'm not sure if they will. They might. It seems like the valve springs might limit it. Doesn't seem like it wants to rev past a certain point. Top speed run, slide carb, and the header pipe, 98cc.
Yeah, it seemed like it does have a little bit of valve float.
So with the slide carb and the header pipe, the bike was a little bit quicker and a little bit faster. So before the slide carb and the header pipe, the bike did 10.85 and 42.05. And then it got a little bit quicker, about a tenth quicker, 10.76. And about a half a mile an hour faster, 42.52 versus 42.05. Yeah, it definitely feels like it's holding back when you're on the bike, like it's floating the valves. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and add some valve shims. I don't wanna go too much spring on that cam because it has nylon lobes, but I think I'll go ahead and add the valve shims. I think I'll probably get away with that until I put the aftermarket cam in there. Pull this plug out here so I can put some string down in the combustion chamber so the valves don't fall down in there. String in there, so now I will pull the valve cover off here and we'll see what we got. Loosen up those rocker arms. Pull these springs out of here and see what we have. Gas color. Right. Actually, they feel pretty decent for just stock springs. So the stock springs are actually decent. They're like a couple millimeters thick, the wire. And then if you go to a Predator 212 spring, they're like 1.8, a little bit thinner, 1.79. So the springs in that engine aren't too bad. I mean, for stock. So I'll throw these shims down in there and we'll see what happens. Then when I get the aftermarket cam, then I'll upgrade the spring package. We'll see if this helps. I don't want to go too far, like I said, because the cam is nylon. The cam has those nylon lobes. I'm not sure how much those will take. Alrighty, so there we go. The springs in there. Pull out the string. Put these rocker arms back on here. Edge. So I'm going to set this valve lash at 3. Put this valve cover back on here. Plug. Alright, so I think that'll do it. So we'll test her out. See if we get any valve float. Well, so far so good. See if we can knock out a 0 to 30 real quick. .07, that's the quickest so far. So definitely a lot quicker, 10.07. So let's see if we can beat 42.52 top speed. Top speed run.
got the valve shims. Oh yeah, man, it picked up a lot of top speed. 46.16.
So the bike got quite a bit quicker and faster. So we started out with a 10.85 0 to 30 and 42.05. And I added the slide carb and did 10.76, so it dropped a little bit from 0 to 30. And then 42.52, which was about a half a mile an hour faster. Then I added the valve shims and we dropped down to 10.07. So we're getting close to knocking a second off 0 to 30, which was quite a bit quicker. And then 46.16. So we gained almost 4 miles per hour. Definitely runs a lot better with the valve shims. You can definitely feel it up at the top end where it wants to rev more. Unlike it was before where it kind of flattened out and you could feel it kind of flutter a little bit, but now it doesn't have any of that. It's nice and smooth all the way to the top. So next time around for this bike, I'll install the aftermarket cam and billet flywheel.